So the next section is dysfunction. Are you married to fear? With the overwhelmingly negative and disheartening statistics on marriage survival, it is easy to understand those who are just simply afraid of failing. For years, the average rate of divorce was around 50%. According to recent studies, that percentage is dropping slightly, but remains a staggering number. The rate of failing second marriages has continued to climb. When this is coupled with watching parents battle and even divorce, many just decide it's not worth the trouble. Family dysfunction is a leading cause of low self-esteem and anxiety in adults. When children are raised in a diseased environment and do not feel safe and valuable or cherished, they carry those feelings into their adult relationships, where patterns are repeated. Dysfunction can take the form of abuse, addiction, or neglect. By the time children are ready to be on their own, the last thing they want is to create another devastating union. They fear intimacy and learn that love is conditional or painful. It is difficult to trust others or even themselves. Feelings of being unworthy or bad lead them into damaging relationships because they do not feel deserving of someone good. A very poignant movie that touches on the subject is What's Eating Gilbert Grape? A father's suicide, a mother's neglect, and a younger brother's mental illness all make up the filter through which young Gilbert sees his world and his future. He is thrust into the role of provider and caregiver barely out of his teens. His view of love and stress management is clouded by fear and the constant pressure to be enough for everyone. He makes poor life and relationship choices followed by guilt and regret for those choices. Heavy and unrealistic burdens on children rob them of the ability to see hope when they reach adulthood. They lack the coping skills required to sustain lasting personal connections as they grow older. Children or young adults have a more difficult time recovering from traumatic events. Their emotional and cognitive skills are not fully developed and sometimes even stunted after consistent exposure to triggers. The numbers vary widely because of the problems in recognizing symptoms in children, but an average of 30% of children experience a traumatic event, of which approximately 10% of girls and 4% of boys develop symptoms of PTSD. They exhibit long-term feelings of detachment and an overall negative outlook on the world. What this means in the context for this book is that there are some of you reading this who know exactly what I'm talking about because it's you or someone you know and live with to this very day. Obviously, there are varying degrees of this issue. Not everyone who had a dysfunctional childhood suffers from PTSD. If that were the case, the percentages would go through the roof. My point is, some adults carry the burdens of their childhood into their adult lives and have complicated relationships with others and themselves. So if this is you now as a sim, what should you do? First of all, if you suffer from PTSD or any other type of severe emotional trauma, please seek professional help. There is no shame or stigma attached to getting better and wanting a peaceful and productive life. Help is available. In addition, I'm providing a few keys to open the door to your future. Before you can move on to finding love and forming a healthy romantic relationship, you will need to unlock the destructive cycle for which you are caught. Using these keys will break open barriers so you can envision a bright and splendid future, even starting now in midlife. Key 1. Faith. Find faith in God. You are not an accident. You are not a mistake. You are here for a purpose and where you need to be in this world. Find faith in yourself. You are more than enough. You are capable and smart with a beautiful soul. Stop comparing yourself to others. You do not know their whole story. They have struggles and insecurities too. Have faith that you are awesome. Key number 2, hope, which is my personal favorite. Hope is literally what I try to center my life around because hope is the great equalizer in this chaotic world of ours. There are so many things out of our control. As long as there is another moment, there is another chance. We can't change the past, We only have the gift of today. My best advice to you is to embrace and savor it. Worry and anxiety are not catalysts for change, but hope can drive you, inspire you, motivate you, change you. You cannot be anxious and hopeful at the same time. Choose hope. Key 3, love. Love is not actually the opposite of hate. It is the opposite of fear, which is actually the root of hate. Love yourself. Find a way. Do what it takes. You will never find true love with another person until you love the one in the mirror. You are not damaged. You are not defective. Whatever junk someone else tried to dump in your head, it was that person's junk and does not belong to you. Emotionally take out the trash. Refuse to believe and live with it any longer. Get out of your head and out of your own way. You are wholly capable of giving and receiving love. And the last one is courage. Fear is crippling, both mentally and emotionally. When it comes to romance and even marriage, fear of failure or fear of being unworthy has kept many from fulfilling and loving relationships. They are tied to dread instead. If fear is the only thing standing in your way, then punch the gas and plow over it. Laugh at it when it shows up in the dust in your rearview mirror. The road ahead is bright and sunny. Roll down the windows and cruise for a while, and then, when you are ready, open your passenger door and let someone in to enjoy the scenic route with you. Reaching your midlife years and never walking down the aisle is not a tragedy. A ring and a marriage license do not guarantee happiness. You only have to answer to the mirror about your life's choices. If your life is complete, joyous, and fulfilled as a single person, I am so happy and I'm proud of you. You are an inspiration to many who seek these things only with the aid of another. However, if you have accomplished and overcome goals laid out up to this point and now wish to up your game, then go for it. It is never too late. You can change the course and reroute your future. Okay, that was chapter 1 of section 1, and that's going to be all for this time, and we will pick up next time on chapter 2. Thanks again for listening. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the chapters, and I appreciate you listening. Have a good day.